So this is part C, and I'm doing job C. Okay, so I'm going to use this job for my information. So I'm going to write down my salary. So I was earning $901 a week, so I'm going to write this down. $901 per week. And also remember there's a commission. So there's going to be two different things we need to combine. So for my equation, I'm going to have the base pay and remember all this should be based on y equals mx plus b. So I have my base pay and then my commission. There's going to be two different commissions. So my first commission, my first equation should be based on the first commission. My first equation should be based on the 3%. And I don't know how much I'm going to sell. And so in math, what do you put? When we don't know, what goes here? That's my first equation. And for the inequality, when do I earn this? Up to $3,000. So in math, how do we write up to $3,000? So it's got to be less than $3,000. That's my first equation. For my second equation, I need to use this second commission. So my base pay is going to stay the same, but it's not 4% anymore. So my base pay is going to stay the same, plus now I'm going to have 4% of my commission. So try and think what do we put there when we don't know what the commission is going to be, and that's going to be your equation, and try and think what the inequality is going to be. And so for my debt, I got to make sure I write in my debt. My debt is $11,439, so I got to write that in. And so this equation is going to give me my weekly pay. So all this is going to be my weekly pay. So I can figure out exactly what I'm going to earn in my weekly pay, assuming I am average. You've already done this. You already know your average pay. So I'm going to take my weekly pay and how long will it take me? So that means I don't know. Times something should give me this amount right here. That's how much debt I have. So I need you to think, how do we find x when you're multiplying by x? All right. And then for 6 months, I'm going to take my weekly pay. Change my color here. I'm going to take my weekly pay. And I want to know for 6 months how much I'm going to earn. So how many weeks in 6 months? It's going to be 26 weeks. That should give me for 6 months.